y'all, Natalie today, and I'm working with the June cherry box. I'm going to make a scrapbook layout with a lot of the fun things that were in the box. I'll link down below to my unboxing of the June cherry box so you can see exactly everything that was in it, but I'm going to use a lot of the stuff right here. So I have this awesome paper pack, and it's this ombre rainbow paper, and so I've picked a big piece of orange and pink one to be the background, and I have a piece of white paper, and I just trimmed it down so you can see a little bit of the color on either side. So I'm going to make a giant shaker, and so I need the 2 layers of paper to make the shaker, because the kit comes with this awesome square shaker pocket by Sizzix. It's sponsored or partnered with Sizzix to create this box, so it was a really great one. So this is kind of the setup of how I'm going to have the layout, and the kit comes with dies to cut squares. However, my die cut machine obviously doesn't really let a 12 by 12 paper go through. So I'm going to have to use my X-Acto knife in this instance when I'm using it on a 12 by 12 scrapbook page. So I just drew a square that's a tiny bit smaller than the shaker container. And I'm just going to use my X-Acto knife to cut that square out of the white cardstock. And I could have done a different shape, but I kind of had a square in my head, and I'm going to cover up the hard edges anyway. So that's going to go on top, and I'm just kind of making sure it all fits. And the top of that shaker is not going to be seen, so it's okay. But this is the look that I'm going for here. These are photos of me with my boys on Mother's Day. So I do want the back of my shaker pocket to be white, so I just used the same cut out white part that I took off the main page, and I'm going to use that behind the shaker. And this is where it gets a little difficult. So you have to fill the shaker. Well, you obviously can't just flip it back over to stick it to the paper, so you have to put the paper on top of the sticky. So you'll see my face here in a minute while I'm trying to do that really carefully. But in my box, I got some silver stars, which I did use in some cards that I posted yesterday, but I wanted to use gold for this one because it was going to be kind of like gold at the end of the rainbow. So I picked some Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins that have gold stars in them. So I got them all in there. The little shaker pocket has lovely really sticky edges all the way around, so it's stuck to that background paper nicely. It is very dimensional, so I have to make the rest of my background paper come up to meet the foreground paper, right? So I'm going to use some fun foam, and I'm just going to use a lot of tape here, and I'm going to stick the fun foam down, and I end up actually needing 2 layers to make the page reach the top of the shaker so that it didn't get too wrinkly or anything. So that's what I'm doing here. This is just really cheap sheets of adhesive back foam. You can find these at Cherry on Top or any craft store, really. And I think probably the Dollar Tree too. So this is when I decided I need 2 layers of the foam. So I peel off the sticky, which is super sticky. When you stick another layer of foam on top, it's not coming off. So that's nice. And then I stick the white background paper down, and I just kind of did it in sections so that I didn't get it wrinkled, or I was able to place it centered onto the background paper. But I have it all done there, and I'm happy with how that looks. And I have my little shaker there. The top of the shaker is going to be covered up by my photos, so you won't be able to see any of that background. And I'm going to work on my clouds. In the die and stamp set by Sizzix that came in the June cherry box, there was this adorable little cloud stamp. So it came with an embossing pad, which is awesome. So I'm going to use that embossing pad and stamp the cloud multiple times. And then I'm going to use the tray to heat emboss, which is really nice. It's a little funnel, and you put it back in your heat embossing pot, embossing powder pot. And it came with this really beautiful turquoise sea foam, I'm not sure the right color, embossing powder. So I'm doing that, and then I will die cut those to be embellishments on my page. I also end up doing some in a gold glitter embossing powder to kind of tie in with the gold sequins that I have going on at the bottom of my rainbow. But there's the idea of what I'm going for there with grouping all the clouds together around my photos and on either side of my rainbow. Now to make the rainbow. So I grabbed that paper pad that came in the June cherry box, and I'm going to cut strips of the paper in all the rainbow colors. And this one ends up being too big, so I just go back to the drawing board. I make it a little skinnier, a little shorter, but that's perfect. And I use my tiny attacher to make each of these strips of paper into a loop. And when it goes in a layout or in a scrapbook, eventually, yes, it will get smushed down. But maybe I'm going to hang it on the wall. I don't know. But it's very 3D with these loops, the way that they are. And I really like the way that it looks. So I got all the colors in rainbow order cut out, and I start making loops. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this looks. I end up not having enough, so I have to go back in and find more colors, but it's fun because this paper pad is ombre, so you can look through different pages and find different tones of the colors to really fill in a really good rainbow. And I was out of staples in my tiny attacher, so I had to replace some staples. Love that tiny attacher though. If you don't have one, I highly recommend grabbing one of those from the Cherry on Top store. So here are all of my little loops, and I'm going to test them around the circle. The top part of the shaker is showing through the background, and that's why my photo is already kind of stuck to it, but it's not permanently stuck, and I can pull it up because I do want to pop it up on some foam as well to help the 3D nature of the page. So I'm filling in the other colors, and now I'm going to put a piece of foam on the back of my photo, or I already have one maybe, and I'm going to use that foam to attach the strips of paper so that it'll kind of hold them up off the page. And then as I get over to the right, I kind of make them go down a little lower so they don't stick off the page too much, because I do want it to fit into my scrapbook eventually. I'm going to link down below if you would like to subscribe to the Cherry Box. You have until the 25th of this month to get the June one. And sometimes there are extras, but I wouldn't risk it. I would just go ahead and subscribe if I were you. It was really full of lots of fun things. And like I said, I'll put the link to my unboxing video in the description below as well if you would like to go back and see everything that was in it. I'm sticking down the photos at the top, and I decided I needed larger clouds, and so I just used the stamp as a guide, and I made like a flat bottomed cloud and just kind of hand cut a couple of clouds out of white cardstock to help hide the straight edge of the shaker. But then they were blending into the background, and so then I had a genius idea. I decided to stick them down on top of the paper pad, or the heat embossing ink pad, and I'm going to use that same color embossing powder to just do a really solid color of cloud on top of the hand cut clouds. So I was happy with that and how it's going to kind of match the stamped clouds. So I just heat embossed that and made sure let it cure and let it cool. And there they are. I'm super happy with how they turned out. I'm just going to layer that along with the stamped clouds all over the edges of my shaker. And again, I'm using a lot of foam to pop it up and to pop up the little clouds when they are not sitting on top of the big cloud. I use foam tape. This is a very thick layout, very dimensional layout. So we're sticking down the clouds. We're almost done here, but I have to add a title. And so the title is going to be Mommy Forever. And it's because they both still call me Mommy. My oldest is 9.5. And every once in a while, the little one will try to change it. And I'm like, no, it's Mommy. I don't want to let it go. I know eventually I'm going to have to let it go, but I'm going to let it ride as long as I can. So if they want to be 30 calling me Mommy, sure, we'll go for it. But that's what my journaling is about. And I just wrote a little bit down there under the shaker about that. At the end, I did that off screen, so you'll be able to see it in the final photos. But yeah, yeah, I'm super happy. Those are the new Splendid Thickers by Paige Evans. They have all those pretty bright rainbow colors, and then they also have gold ones, and they're so cute and perfect and little. And so last thing is I'm going to take that same sequins mix that I used in the shaker. I'm just going to pull out some of the stars and use them as same as you would enamel dots or splatters or something, and add them around the page. And I think they really add a lot and help tie the gold into the rest of the page. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe. Make sure you go check out the cherry box. Like I said, I'll put my affiliate link down below if you would like to go grab one. And let me know if you have any questions at all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, y'all.